Guild Wars 2 has announced its next expansion, Janthir Wilds, which will be arriving on August 20th, 2024. 3 short months away. So let's dive into the blog post and see what new and shiny things we're getting with Janthir. But first, hey, I'm Fornax, welcome to my channel. Do make yourself at home, and if you find anything herein of merit, please do press my buttons below. A fresh adventure arrives on the horizon. Guild Wars 2, Janthir Wilds arrives on August 20th, bringing with it another year of story chapters and content updates. Bristling with Mursaat ruins and harrowing to navigate, the fabled Isles of Janthir have been carefully guarded by the wizards of the Astral Ward, and to most of Tyria's denizens, they are a distant legend. But recent events have inspired the world's leaders to create a Tyrian alliance and dispatch the Wayfinder to befriend new allies. As you seek out the lowland Krytan colony in Janthir, you will explore, fight, and learn more about the mysteries of Tyria's past. We've got a little bit more information to provide about some key features of Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds in this blog post. And between now and launch, you can stay tuned for even more details. So, many players who spotted the Eye of Janthir in the Midnight King's throne room will have already guessed we're going to Janthir next. But it is still wonderful to have a new place in Tyria to explore, a place that we have never been to in all the many years of the Guild Wars universe. So, I'm happy to go to Janthir Wilds. I love the Mursaat, their culture. We got a little glimpse with Soto, and I'm hoping for a deeper dive into the Mursaat, their lore, their mystique, and where the rest of them are gone. That would be very interesting indeed. So, for me, thumbs up for the location. Let me know where you were hoping to go. I know many people will be bitterly disappointed that it is not the Dominion of Winds. However, with these smaller expansions, it's not out of the question that we will get there eventually. Beginning August 20th, 2024, purchasing any edition of Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds before the expansion launches at approximately 9 AM Pacific time on August 20th, 2024 will grant you the Homesteader title, the Whispering Serpent Poulder's skin, and a box with your choice of one Serpent's Wrath weapon. Visit the official page for full details of the items included in the Standard, Deluxe, and Ultimate Edition. You can purchase Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds through the official store or from online stores, Steam, and the official retailers. And you can of course use my partner links below. They will take you to all the expansions, and using them helps out the channel. And if you don't want to use my links, that's fair, but do find a partner that you love and use their links. It helps us out enormously. So we've got some treaties, we've got some titles. I know many people do not like to pre-purchase, that's fair. But as long as we're not getting game-breaking power boosts from these aesthetic toys, I'm fine with it. Anyway, on with the blog post. So, a new adventure beckons. At the launch of Janthir Wilds, we're exploring 2 new maps as you seek an alliance with a lowland Krytan who call the Isles of Janthir home, mastering new ways to fight and explore and unlock a homestead, an account-wide personal home instance of your own. Over the course of 3 quarterly releases that follow the initial launch, you'll have the opportunity to challenge new content, explore additional stories in a 3rd new map, craft a legendary spear and backpack, and obtain new Wizard's Vault rewards, cosmetic items, relic effects, and more. So, just as in Soto, we're getting 2 major maps for the bulk of the story, and an additional map, as in the size of Naos, for the 3rd installment. Now, the challenging content we will talk about later because it's raids, and we're getting it in about November, but I am kind of spoiling ahead. But I'm interested in seeing where they go with the story. They've got an idea now of how much story they can pack in to these smaller expansions without spreading themselves too thin and having to have a very gossamer thin narrative. So hopefully we will have a much more denser, much more packed story going forward. And of course, spear, which is used on land, is something that the community has been asking for a long time, and it's a nod back to the original Nightfall campaign and the Paragons. I love to see that the spear returns, and it is going to have its own unique playstyles for each profession, which is great. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to playing that. And finally, it is happening. We have housing in Guild Wars 2. It's a long time coming, and what it looks like to me is a guild hall of your own. Maybe a little bit smaller, maybe not. With some farming elements, it would seem, as well, which I rather love. I love cozy games. I have spent far too much time in Stardew Valley and New Horizons, and I will be playing Chef RPG as well when that comes out this September. So yeah, I love these kind of cozy elements in games. I'm going to really enjoy building up, exploring this new feature, seeing how well they implement housing. We have a couple of MMOs to compare it to. 14 and ESO do housing really well. So I'm very happy about that. Happy about new legendary weapons, crafting, and new backpacks, so that there is another route for players to take to get legendary. At the moment, you can get it via fractals, PvP, and World v World are the 3 routes that we currently have. So now there is another PvE route, which is great. All roads leading to legendaries now. But I think fractal players would like the ability to craft legendary armor through fractals as well, in the Daddy I Want a Pony request. And of course, the Wizard's Vault, which has been overwhelmingly positive for the gaming community, is getting more bits and pieces. So smashing, great. More relic effects, hopefully some more bombastic relic effects. Get rid of some of the ones that are a bit more boring. There's so many. You really do need to have a legendary relic or gigantic bags. One or the other. Anyway, on with the blog post. We're going to talk about the housing. Hurrah! So we're excited to add our take on account-wide housing with Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds. Your journey will lead you to your own homestead, an account-wide personal instance with a structure and land for you to decorate and cultivate. Hopefully I can have a beautiful decorative flower garden. The homestead feature is unlocked and developed through an associated mastering line as a place to express yourself, share space with your friends, and access nodes and unlock resources for your personal story home instance. Before we launch on August 20th, we will be back to share loads more information and a look at homestead decorating. So I have been waiting for housing in Guild Wars 2 for a very long time. I never really understood why they didn't develop the guild decorating system into housing beforehand. We've had guild halls and the ability to decorate them since Heart of Thorns. But hey, I'm glad they're doing it now, and I'm really looking forward to the cultivating elements as well. I'm hoping that there is going to be some variability and choice for the player in the presentation of the housing, the style, so that we can bring some of our own cultural elements to it. So if you're a non-player, for example, you can have cultural elements from, say, Holbreck. And if you're a Sylvari player, then you can have more organic looking buildings, and all the assets are there. Nothing needs to be made new, although maybe some of them could do with a refresh at this point. But hey, it would be lovely to have some choice and variation in the buildings. I'm really hopeful that this feature will be developed as they go forward as an ongoing project. So yes, big thumbs up from me. Let me know what you're looking forward to, what features, what aesthetics that you hope are going to be included in the homestead below. Okay, on to wielding spears on land. So, previously only available for underwater combat, spears will now have all new skills for each profession on land. Spears can be used interchangeably in the aquatic and terrestrial weapon slots, but you will need to equip multiple spears to have use of them in both slots. The unlocked spear skins in your wardrobe will work with both versions, and if you have made Kamahwali Kataki, the legendary spear, you can equip it through the legendary armor in either slot, which is great. Unfortunately, I have not crafted this legendary, but I'm sure many people will be trying to get it done before this expansion lands. Yeah, thumbs up from me. New weapon, interesting variation on introducing new combat abilities. I like it. I'm hoping that they will do more in the future. I'm interested to know what the theory crafters will be thinking about this one. Let me know below, because I am definitely a basic and I just think, oh, new shiny weapon, new shiny abilities, but obviously balance is a little bit more complicated than that. So greater minds than mine are required. Let me know below. Okay, on to raids and encounters, and this is where I think it gets very interesting. And I think a lot of the community will be cheering that this has happened and hoping perhaps that new modes will be available for existing raids going forward. So fingers crossed, and let's dive into it. Additional challenging encounters will become available alongside new story chapters in the 3 major releases that follow Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds. In the first of these releases, anticipated to release around November 2024, you'll get to challenge a new raid comprising of 3 encounters. The story of these encounters will be accessible in 2 ways: through a classic 10-player raid instance, our 8th raid, or with large groups in open world events. I have been asking for this feature since Heart of Thorns released, since Wing 1, since The Forsaken Thicket, since Salvation's Pass, since Stronghold of the Faithful. I think all of these would make incredible open world maps where non-raiding players can zerg, get the story, get some shiny items, and have some fun. And I'm hoping that this will be a feature going forward, and goodness me, wouldn't it be absolutely peak if we had an auto-matching system for this? Yes, please. Come on, guys. Do it. You know you can. We believe in you. Anyway, raids are coming back, and we need to show them some love and let the developers know that this is what we want. At least this is what I want. If you don't agree with me, do let me know why I'm wrong in the comments below. And on to something that I was also talking about on the Lightbringers podcast on Friday. So, Soto focused heavily on the sky scale, and it developed the mount further, giving it new features. Great, thumbs up, smashing, we love the mount system. And my only lament was that I hoped that the other mounts wouldn't languish because of the supremacy of the flying mounts. And it looks like someone was on the same wavelength as me in the dev team, because in Janthir Wilds, the Warclaw mount will be featured with new mechanics. Woohoo! So, previously only available for World vs. World, the Warclaw will be introduced to players in the story of Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds, including new skills for PvE play. At the same time, we'll be revisiting the Warclaw World v World skill to provide a refreshed experience that builds on what we've learnt about the mounts since first implementing the Warclaw. So the Warclaw is a pretty accessory, but it's not really necessarily used at all, as far as I can see, for its mechanical use in World v World maps. So I'm glad they're getting iterated upon for World v World players. They desperately need some love and some new maps. They deserve it. They really do. And, of course, be interesting to see what they'll be doing for PvE. In World v World, they're supposed to be used to pull down gates, which they kind of consume resources to do so, and they have these like tugging mechanics. Perhaps we'll be using them to move obstacles, to unlock different parts of the map. Perhaps they could be used to scale walls in a different capacity. Anyone who's watched a cat go up a tree will know what I'm thinking about. But let me know your thoughts about Warclaws, their utilization in PvE maps, and what you hope will happen in World v World maps. How can they be made more useful for the community? How can they be made to enhance, kind of shake up the game type a little bit for World v World? I would be interested to know below. I could do an entire video on Warclaws. I think it's a super interesting topic, especially for the World v World community. But on we go to more player versus player shenanigans. And we've got one final thing to share for now. Over the course of the coming year, we'll also be seeking input from the community on a new PvP game mode we aim to implement. We have a prototype for a map and mechanics that will be ready to start beta testing later this year, and we'll iterate on and refine that, taking into account your feedback on the beta testing. PvP and World v World have been kind of languishing in obscurity in terms of development for a while, and I am very happy to see that they are showing the PvP players some love. And many players, I think, had kind of resigned themselves to this game mode fading into obscurity, and so it's lovely to see that a brand new game type is going to be developed in collaboration with the community. I think that in terms of wish lists, other than having big prize pools for PvP tournaments, I think that this would be, up there at the top of the list of PvP players' requests for new development. Let me know your thoughts below, especially PvP players. I am not, I am too easily bruised for PvP, so let me know below your hopes for the future of this new, to be announced PvP mode. But they said that that's the only thing they're going to announce, but actually they snuck another thing in here at the end, which is Guild Wars 2 is coming to the Epic Game Store. So Guild Wars 2 and all its expansions will be coming to the Epic Game Store. We're always excited for new opportunities to introduce Guild Wars 2 to new players, and we're looking forward to welcoming in players with Epic Game accounts. So I know that no studio, including Epic Games, has been without controversy in its past. However, as of February 2024, the Epic Store had over 270 million users, and that is not an insignificant player base. So good luck, hats off, fingers crossed, and I hope that Guild Wars 2 landing in the Epic library will introduce it to countless new players, expanding and enriching and broadening our community. Fingers crossed it all goes well. In conclusion, so stay tuned. Again, you can visit the official store or hop into game to purchase the upcoming expansion, or click down below to my referral links and help me out or help your favorite content creator out. If they are a partner, they will have a referral code. So between now and launch on August 20th, we will be sharing additional information about the features and content like the new spear skills, homesteads, raids, and more. So, my thoughts. It's wonderful that we have a new expansion launch this close, this like brushing up against the end of Soto. It is, you know, a hair's breadth between them. That's great. And I'm happy to have continued adventures in this game. Honestly, I am cautiously optimistic. If a little saddle sore, shall we say. I play for story, I play for exploration. Those things I'm going to get. There's new legendaries to chase. There's all sorts of wonderful things coming, and hoping that they have learnt lessons from Soto and the scale and scope that they can achieve successfully with this new condensed expansion release timetable. Let me know your thoughts below, and I will be making a lore speculation video breaking down who the possible big bads of this expansion could be. We have had a major hint in the trailer, and I purposefully haven't watched anybody else's videos yet. I'm going to wait and make my content and see if we agree. I always like to do that. Often I am far out in left field, kind of lost in a gully, inspecting my own navel when it comes to these topics. But hey, spoilers, I think we're going to be facing the Titans. But we have come to the end. Much love and many hugs to my supporters over on Patreon and Subscribestar who keep this channel up and running. I couldn't do it without them. If you would like to join, links below. As a disabled content creator, it's hard for me to keep to a standard content creation schedule, so they just allow me to be able to do what I need to do, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All these names here, and everyone who supported me in the past, thank you so much. And everyone who supports the channel here on YouTube by subscribing and liking, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. And of course, I want to thank ArenaNet, their partner program, for allowing me to have referral links down below, for allowing me to get early access to content, for allowing me to just be a part of this wonderful community and make content for you guys. I really appreciate it. And if you do fancy pre-ordering or ordering the new expansion, Janthir Wilds, there are links below to my referrals. It takes you to all the expansions, and using any of my referral links costs you not a penny more, but helps out the channel enormously. Also, there are links to the free-to-play game down there as well, so you can try it out risk-free. Anyway, we have come to the very end of this video. Until next time, please stay safe, stay awesome, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.